good. I like the sound of that.
Who's that lady?
I don't know, but she can join us if she wants. The more the merrier there. All right. How you doing, everybody? My name is Dean Olson. I am a songwriter, radio host, and producer from Orange County, California. And I'm really just an average guy making music. However, when I get behind a microphone, I become the StrongWriter on the radio, helping songwriters and artists keep musically fit. The way I like to do that is through faith and hope and encouragement, by taking in the stories and experiences told to me by my wonderful guests, and by learning from the best in the business and passing it along to you. And now I want to welcome you to another beautiful day for a fantastic show. And even I really don't know what the show is going to be like today until I actually meet my featured guests. So let's go do that right now together. Here on the screen with me are David Beck. To us, he's on the right-hand side, and over on the left is DEES Stribling. These are two young musicians who joined their other fellow Texan friends to form the band David Beck's Tejano Weekend. Their self-titled album, Volume 2, features two singles, Put Me in Jail and For Somebody's Sake. And I'm doing a quick intro because we had a little bit of technical difficulty, and I want to make up for some lost time. So let's go to Austin, Texas right now, and welcome to the show. DEES Stribling, David Beck from David Beck's Tejano Weekend.
Hello!
All right. That's about the best energy I could come up with. So how's things with you guys? Let me break the ice a little bit and get into it here. So
we're good. Today's the first kind of actually cold day.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was just in Texas in July, so we were there during, the 90-degree weather. So this is when it starts to cool down a little bit, maybe to 75 when it gets really cold.
You're right. Yeah, we're switching over to all Christmas music from here on out.
You guys like that? Do you play Christmas music in your shows at all?
We do. We actually have a. Do you know If We Make It Through December? The Merle Haggard song.
Oh yeah, so you play that?
Yeah, we have a cover of that. Yeah,
little Tex-Mex flavor to it when you do it. So,
absolutely.
Put Me in Jail is one of the singles that I got to see. I saw the video for that. First of all, who is David Lee Garza, and what's he doing on your record?
So David Lee Garza is the king of Tejano accordion.
That's him featured right there. I saw.
Yeah.
He got with that nice looking Hohner accordion that he had there.
Yeah. So he's been playing since the 70s, and he's a staple in Tejano music. And I consider him the greatest. And his records sound the best too.
So this is a big find or a big collaboration of you guys.
Yeah, it all worked out. We met his Bajo sexto player. We met him in Lukenbach, Texas, and we became buddies, and he linked us in with David Lee, and we got him on the record.
Pretty cool. Yeah. So this is a volume 2. Is it already out? Because I know you're having an album release show in over in San Marcos, where you were born, David. Yeah. And that's on November 19th, just in case I put a little clip here. And you're going to play the volume 2 all the way through, right? From start to finish.
Yeah, start to finish, yeah.
Pretty cool.
We got to learn some songs.
So has the thing actually been released, or is it going to be coming up to be released?
No, it came out 2 weeks ago.
It came out 2 weeks ago, but we'll have it on vinyl by the November show. So it's out on the internet, and then the party is the 19th at Cheatham Street. The
big party, good. Yeah, what do you think of the vinyl? I saw some clips of you guys on Facebook, putting the record on the turntable.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we have the test pressings.
Sounds awesome. It sounds really good. So, and I understand that the album, or at least, is it the album or Put Me in Jail is it debuted already on one of the charts, the Tejano charts. Leon de Tejano, I think it debuted right there at the bottom, and it's starting to climb.
Yeah, it's getting some airplay around. Tejano music is still a big deal on regional radio. So,
well, you'd be the first Tejano themed band I've had, or artist, and because I don't know that many, and plus I'm in California, so we don't have a lot of it out here.
Right.
It's a different kind of Latin music but I remember when it became popular, Celino y los Dinos.
Yeah.
I used to hear that out here in in Santa Ana, I heard all kinds of different Latin flavors, and I did hear that stuff, and people were playing Selena, back in 93,
Yep.
94, something like that. And of course, the tragedy with her, but she's still probably the most recognizable name in that whole genre, isn't she? Yeah, even though, you got David Lee and some of these other.
This is Tejano. She's the queen of Tejano.
Oh yeah, well, definitely.
But yeah, Selena's how this whole thing got started for me personally, and just being from Texas and all, and
yeah. So you weren't raised on Tejano music, but you discovered it and took to it. Is that how it worked out for you?
Yeah, I was raised on standard white guy stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, we're all Mexicans here. We can talk.
It was like the Beach Boys.
No kidding. Well, what got you into? Was it like a bolt of lightning or something when you started hearing stuff from Selena and some of these other artists? Her?
I watched the Selena live at the Astrodome.
Uh-huh.
And I was at a party with my friends and watched it all by myself. Everybody left, and I watched it on this big TV. And then that really was the spark that I just started listening to all these Tejano records and just got completely obsessed with it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of clips from that. That's the one that Jennifer Lopez recreates in that movie where they do the Astrodome show with the purple jumpsuit or whatever she's got on there.
Yeah. Same deal. I've seen that one too.
Yes, no, she's incredible. Yeah, my daughter was she's a little younger than you two. You guys in your 30s, something like that?
33.
33. Oh, okay. So that's my kid's age. Yeah, my daughter's 30, and she was raised on Selena. I mean, that was her queen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, she loved that. So maybe we can go back in time. Tell me about Volume 1, because I'm not sure if they go hand in hand. It's just like a continuation of what you did before.
Yeah, I've always loved volumes.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why we call it that. There was never any different option. It's just
I think we wanted to do at least 3 of them, and then we were thinking if we name it Volume 1, we'd probably have to do at least 3.
Yeah.
2 wouldn't quite be enough. But Put Me in Jail is a Sonny and the Sunliners song.
Okay.
So it's a cover. But Somebody's Sake is your David's original.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Let's skip to that for a second. So For Somebody's Sake, did that come out before Put Me in Jail, or which one was first to be released?
By a week. It was kind of all at the same. We're just all at the same time.
Yeah. So were a lot of people like myself, are we just discovering you, or if you had pretty much a good following from the first album that came out?
We have a dedicated, intimate following.
Good.
Which means nobody knows who we are.
Okay, well, you wouldn't be the first. I mean, there's a lot. It's music is a tough business, so you got to. Now, I think it's always been like that. You got to get yourself a following, and then
sure.
The money will come whenever it comes. But as long as you're doing what you love, and you got people that are dedicated and love you guys, I think that's what it's all about. You just want to share your music and have people like it and want some more, and it's a whole community. I think
Volume 2 is definitely like Volume 1 has a lot. I mean, a bunch of people heard it and everyone likes it, and I think it's really good. But Volume 2 is definitely a step up in like production and like how we recorded everything, and the band is now more of one solid band, less special guests, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other special guests besides the great David Lee Garza? Now that I've learned about him, from you guys, I didn't realize he was such a big star. Sorry about that. I apologize to David Lee for not recognizing him right away.
He's a
special guest. Brian Donahoe.
Brian Donahoe is our buddy who plays saxophone.
Okay.
And he plays all over. He's not in the band normally, but we got him in on the recording.
Yeah.
Alto sax is a huge deal in Tejano music.
Yeah, he's a special guest. He enhances the sound of whatever you already had. So
yeah. So we just had him come in and double up a bunch of horn lines that we already had.
Great.
And, putting real horns on something is a magical thing. It really is wild, as opposed to synth stuff.
Let me put David Beck. Enough of David Beck for a second. Let me talk about DEES because I don't know what's up with DEES. Are you with the are you the guy I saw in the video drumming? Are you the drummer?
I am the drummer. Yes, sir.
Okay, sounds good. I like the drum track. You know, I like to focus on. You know, we were.
Thank you.
David was kind of like dissing the bass players and everything like that. That's cool, but I'm a big fan of the percussion too. You know, because I'm jealous that I can't play a drum kit, but you know, I have rhythm and I've done percussion a lot. So
it's like a super drummy style of music too. So there's plenty of room to like do whatever you want, go nuts.
Yeah. So you can do a lot of polyrhythms and just, you know, you're doing stuff that sounds like traditional music, but you know,
it's like, there's definitely some polyrhythms going on. A lot of what we do is like a percussion track and a drum set track.
Okay.
And then when I do it live, we do as much as we can with one person instead of two people. So we do use like loops and electronic drums and all sorts of stuff like that.
What do you call the Put Me in Jail? The style is it sort of a march? You know, a little bit of a polka march almost.
Polka, yeah.
Yeah, because you hear that march drumming that you do with the rolls and the little rat-a-tat-tat, and that's stuff I hear a lot of. You know,
it's I mean, it's trying to be as straight up a Tejano style polka as humanly possible. And no matter what you're playing, it's you're doing this mainly as live shows for a crowd. You're doing a party. You know, it's like everybody. There's a whole party atmosphere. Everybody gets into it and dances and. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's got to be a great time. So you've been doing. How long you guys been doing? Oh, here I know what I wanted to ask you guys. There's 5 guys in the band. You know, you 2 and then 3 others. And did you all form about the same time, or did it take a while to get this lineup that you have?
This is actually the lineup we have right now is other than our accordion player, it's the original lineup.
Okay.
So it took a few people coming in and out to figure out just logistically who could, you know, do it and make all the shows. And
I glanced at some of the cities. So you've been doing this for a little bit, and you play all around different places in Texas. You going to be in Lubbock tomorrow? I think I saw that.
Yeah, Lubbock, which you know, California is gigantic. So Lubbock is like 8 hours away.
Oh, good grief! So you better get started. You know, get some sleep and then head on over.
Yeah.
But Lubbock has its own like musical universe, like that's centered around Lubbock and Buddy Holly, and it all comes out of that. And so it's cool to go into Lubbock. And we've been at the Blue Light, this band 3 or 4 times, and you know, we've been playing over there forever. So it's always a great time going there. What's
the life of a band? You know, you always picture in. You know, for people watching, and they may just see the stuff on TV and in movies. You know, they all go down together in a big vehicle. Or do you all meet down there, like all 5 of you guys on your own time, or do you all go down as a caravan? Yeah.
No, we caravan. Well, we usually travel by van.
Okay, so you all go in one, and then with all the equipment, maybe in another, or do you stuff everything? I'm just wondering how you guys do it on your own. It's all DIY, right, with you guys?
Everything in the van.
Everything in the van, yeah.
Wow. And so,
if we can't help it, for sure. It makes it a lot easier. So, like if everyone's in one van, you know, no one's getting lost. So,
yeah, it's hard to be late if you're already in the van.
Yeah. But that must be, is that one of the venues that you go to that takes you the longest to get there? 8 hours sounds like, it's a lot of gas and a lot of time, a lot of stopping for, you know, get something to eat on the way and get some gas. And you know, that takes probably one or 2 trips to the gas station, I guess. And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It might take 3.
That's a pretty far one. I mean, Amarillo is even further. So,
oh, good.
You know, it's just a part of doing business in Texas is you're going to drive your butt off.
Yeah. We've been to Oklahoma twice and New Mexico once.
Yeah.
And that's about as far as we've gone. But I know there's a good amount of Tejano bands go up through Bakersfield and Sacramento and into Arizona and everything. So it's not out of the realm of possibility.
You'd be surprised. Bakersfield and Sacramento have there's some pockets of that music out there too. You know.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know the big geography of Texas. The Amarillo, that would be going towards Oklahoma, right? Is that going up the
That's
state? Yeah. And
a
then
little bit west of Oklahoma, but yeah.
and then you guys are going to El Paso. Yeah. Sounds a lot like a lot of fun, but I mean
It's nice when it's not hot.
yeah. Well, tell me about that. Is it tougher when it's hot? You know, you hopefully you don't get all worn out before you even get started, you know.
Yeah, your brain turns into sludge if it's too hot. And then that's no good.
Anyway, this has all been chit chat, but I'm always curious about the life of a band, you know, and how you guys do it. So, David, when did you get the inspiration to actually start doing this? Was this all you to start with, or did maybe you and one of the other guys come up with this on? Because your name's on the band, so I figured you must have come up with this somehow.
Well, everything I've ever done for the past 8 years, me and DEES do together. So I personally got real obsessed with it, with the Tejano music, about 5 years ago.
Okay.
The summer of 2016, I think is what it was, or 2017.
You and Dees know each other before all this happened? You got it started together?
We started playing music in 2012,
2011.
2011.
Oh, okay. I saw 2017 on your site, so it looked like I thought maybe you just got this off the ground, but you know.
Well, yeah, this band definitely started then, but we've had a couple other bands in the past.
Okay.
And like different, you know, just playing all sorts of everything.
We had a band called Sons of Fathers. It's like Americana thing, and then we had a band called Blue Healer, which was like a pop rock extravagance.
So you have a love for all that, but this sounds like you got a good passion to play what you're playing now. So you can just tell, you know.
It kind of came out of nowhere for me, and then it stuck around, and I believe it stuck around for a reason. And then once we started gigging, and once we got decent at playing this style of music, like the show, we just got a lot of show opportunities, and the shows were really fun. And the other music we used to play was a little more like serious or melancholy, or you had to like had to like listen to it and all, you had to like really dive into it. And I feel like this music is all dance based, so it's just a lot more joyful immediately.
Yeah.
So it's been very fruitful for us.
So you play from your heart. So I assume that the crowds, the people that love your music, they already know that this is authentic in that way, because you're not faking your way through this thing. You truly have joy in playing this kind of music for everybody, and it's just like all the other Spanish language Tejano bands out there, I'll bet.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you catch the bug and it makes you happy, and you gotta. As an artist, I feel like if I get obsessed with something, my inclination and my duty a little bit is to, to expand on that.
How'd you find the other guys? I saw there was, I wrote their names down here. So you got Peter, you got David, and you got John. Those are the other three. And what does Peter play?
Peter plays the keys.
Okay. That's good. That helps. That helps to the sound.
Peter can play a little bit of everything, but in this band, he plays keys mostly. And he is David's cousin.
He's my first cousin.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And both of you play, different instruments. David seems to have a love for all different. I saw cello. You play the bajo and some. But your main thing is like that upright as you're singing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks really cool.
It does, yeah. And and you put the cowboy hat or whatever, and then it completes the look, and you can get into you can assume the character, and y'all got that, yeah.
I in the 10 or whatever 12 years I've known David, I've seen him play everything except the saxophone.
Really? Well, and now you got the what's his name that's playing the sax with you, so.
Yeah,
We could borrow one from him, probably.
Fantastic. Yeah, what you can't do, but hire somebody or bring them into the fold, and
I bet you could play saxophone.
Yeah. And then the other two, you got David Herrera, who plays. He also plays accordion, right? So that's he stepped aside for David Lee to come in and do his thing. So
he did.
Yeah,
he plays guitar. He plays guitar on the video. But yeah, we met David. I met him from going to Tejano clubs in San Marcos. And so I'd already met him, and then I put an ad on Craigslist for an accordion player, and he reached out. So I kind of actually knew him already, but he got the gig via Craigslist, which is shout out to Craigslist.
And David also plays like horns too when they're needed. Yeah,
he played trumpet. He doesn't play horns.
A trumpet. Yeah, okay.
He played trumpet though in high school. We haven't seen him do it though. We got to make him do it. We're gonna make him do it.
I get this information from the little Tiger Beat looking interview that you all did on your site. You have everybody do like a little Q&A for everybody. And I didn't study it, but I remember seeing a couple of these things. I don't know all your hobbies and your loves and your hates and all that stuff, but it's fun that you did that, because people can get to know you a little bit through that, and then it raises like and John, what's John's role in the band? What does he play?
So John plays guitar and bajo quinto, and I met John in probably 2017 or something, and 2015, 16, and I was producing a record for his buddy, and John had like just started playing guitar and came over to the studio and was the most excited person to be around music I'd ever met, and real inquisitive and just a nice guy. So
yeah.
And that's sort of the most important thing about a band member. Like, it's not necessarily experience. It's more like just the attitude and their, the drive to want to be there.
Yeah.
It's more important than anything.
In Austin, that's where you guys are. So there's a whole mix of things going on out there. So, I'm sure you're welcome with all the other genres that are out there.
Austin is pretty wild for that. I mean, even like, so this is a weird story, but in Austin, there's a thing called HAM, and it's a health insurance for musicians, health insurance for Austin musicians. And it's a big program. And if you're a musician, you can get on HAM, so you have health insurance. But one time I was in line to sign up, and I was talking to someone next to me, and they were getting health insurance because they play the hurdy-gurdy at Renaissance Fair.
No kidding.
Which is awesome. And they were just in line like everybody else, just to like show how many different types of people there are playing all sorts of wild stuff in Austin.
Are you saying he was playing it in line there so everybody could hear it?
No, that's just what
are you saying that's what he did?
Yeah. You have to prove that you're a musician for like a career or whatever to get on the health insurance. And that's what she was doing.
So were you successful in that? That sounds because I know I've heard some other organizations that do that too. So that's a good thing.
It's like a big deal here, and when you go to enroll, it's like a big family reunion because you see everybody that from playing.
And the ones that are on it probably have good stories to tell you. Say, hey, come along. It works out.
Oh yeah,
it's good.
It's a good program. They got health insurance and mental insurance and like earplug stuff, and it's great.
A lot of support for bands. I mean, you obviously got to sort of psych each other up and be your own support team. All five of you guys together as a band. That's what a lot of bands do. Is there any other support, like among other? Do you meet up with other bands, like to ally with those guys and say, hey, it's nice to see you guys again? Or there's no rivalry, I hope, out there where they sort of chase you out. And
no, there's minimal rivalry.
Yeah. Austin, I heard it's really good, so that's why I'm asking. Yeah.
If you play a Sunburst Stratocaster, you might have some rivals, but
no kidding.
we're playing Tejano music.
Yeah.
Everyone is sort of real cool.
Everybody's got some cool looking instruments in the video. I mean, those, I assume that's what you're playing all the time. Those are all your own personal instruments. You got some really good looking hardware there. What was who's playing? I think it was an acoustic that somebody's playing in the video. Put Me in Jail. I think
So that's the Bajo Quinto.
Oh, that's what that is.
Or the Bajo Sexto or Bajo Quinto. So it's
that's beautiful. It's nice.
It's like it's like a 12-string guitar, sort of, but the tuning's a little different, and it's got a low octave string. So it's actually got, on the lower notes, it's got the same notes as a bass guitar on an acoustic. So it's super guttural.
Is this pretty common? A lot of people, a lot of bands do this. Okay.
Well, the Bajo is like, from Mexico. It's a big conjunto. Like conjunto music is like all focused on the Bajo and stuff. Yeah.
You consider yourselves that conjunto stuff?
No. Yeah. No, conjunto is like it doesn't have keys or horns or anything.
Okay.
It's more stripped down.
And you'll incorporate whatever instrument you feel like at the time, right? But
right,
it's pretty much the same makeup of instruments in your band. Everybody plays kind of the same ones, unless you have a guest appearance by like a sax, for instance, and like that.
It's pretty simple, and we followed the Tejano guidelines from the early '90s, so just trying to mimic those records, basically, instrumentation wise, and so that dictated who we have in the band and what the role is.
And so the Put Me in Jail has sort of that two-step, that's sort of that march, the polka march, like that. And then the other one that we were talking about was called For Somebody's Sake, and that's sort of like that's a whole different tempo. That's almost like a cumbia or something. What's that?
It's the cumbia. It's a cumbia. Yeah.
Yeah. When it's all said and done, I just like what I hear. I don't analyze things to like a music theorist or anything like that. I just like to hear some good music. And you guys, definitely, what I hear from you guys is that you're just having a great time, and I think that's what you put out to everybody.
Cool. That's good. Because we are.
How's that?
What is on there? We do definitely some cumbias, some polkas. There's a wapango. The last track is sort of our version of a wapango, which is a type of traditional Mexican dance music. And there is something in 12.
Mariachi.
Yeah, like a mariachi.
Okay. The Tejano stuff, I think, it's probably exclusive to where you are, and it was invented there. It came together.
That was one of the big realizations for me, was just how deep in the heart geographically we already were, and like born and raised in the heart of it, but I just never like plugged into it, And that was one of those things. It's like, oh my God, this is all these great people that I'm obsessing over are all from Texas. It's all right here. And so that was a big,
some live in Kyle.
Yeah, that's a big driving force. And then we got to meet, Michael Salgado. We meet David Lee Garza. We meet these people that are huge, So
that's one of the big rewards too, is when you start meeting some people that are big heavyweights in the biz, or are well known, and they get along with you, and you make buddies with them, and now you got friends for life.
Make art with them.
Yeah,
good thing.
Even better, right?
Yeah.
Dees, where'd you grow up? Are you nearby where he was, or are you in a different place?
I was born in El Paso, and then I grew up in Dallas, and then I moved to San Marcos in 2008 to go to school at Texas State University, and that's San Marcos where David was born.
Yeah,
and then moved to Austin shortly after that.
So I'm trying to think of what that is on the map. San Marcos. I mean, that's San Marcos is like close to you where you guys are right now, isn't it?
It's like 30 minutes south of Austin, in between Austin and San Antonio.
Yeah, and then El Paso is like over on the west side of
super west. Yeah.
If you go to if you're driving to Houston and you go to El Paso, you're halfway to California.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
There you go.
So I think it's Houston, or is it San Antonio? No,
I don't know.
I can't remember. It's somewhere. It's
12
like
or 13
Take
hours.
take a left on I-40 and head
Like 24. So
something like that.
I thought. Is it from here?
it's got to be on I-10.
I don't know. There's something about if you go all the way to El Paso. I can't remember if it's from here or from Houston. You're still in Texas, but you're also halfway to California.
No kidding.
You're halfway to whatever San Diego, wherever it dumps out.
There's the little things I wouldn't have ever known. But yeah, you get on the 10, you can head on the way. You're almost, you can go all the way to the coast here to the beach if you just keep on going west. So this is really nice to have met you. You said that Put Me in Jail. Now that's a cover of that guy's song. What was this? Sonny and
the Sunliners.
Okay.
Who are from, I believe they're from San Antonio. And they were one of the first like Hispanic bands to be on American Bandstand, I think is what it is.
Really?
They had a lot of success in the late 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
So they'd play that song a lot on the radio, and I heard it and I was like, oh, this could be a polka for sure.
What inspired you to cover that one in particular?
Is it English?
Nice. It helps that you know the words and when you listen to it.
Yeah.
It does good. It's the way it was recorded, you know, a lot of wet echo reverb on your voice there. So I had to really concentrate on the words listening to it. But you know, it helps when you watch it on the video because I can lip read it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I start to get into it. But I like it. You know, you have to hear it a couple times to get over the shock that you're singing in English. I'm used to hearing this kind of stuff in another language.
I stood before the jury. It was an ugly scene. They could see right through me how lonely I had been. So put me in jail if I fail. Give you all the love that's yours. Put me in jail if I fail in loving you. And then the judge accused me. He put me down bad. Told me I was guilty of making you so sad. So put me in jail if I fail to give you all the love that's yours. Put me in jail if I fail in loving you. Then the judge accused me. He put me down real bad. He told me I was guilty of making you so sad. So put me in jail if I fail to give you all the love that's yours. Put me in jail if I fail in loving you. So put me in jail if I fail to give you all the love that's yours. Put me in jail if I fail in loving you.
Okay, so yeah, let's get back to For Somebody's Sake. So now this is something you wrote on your own. What's it about?
So it's about like wanting someone to like having a friend that's in a not great place, and then hoping that they can pull themselves out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's sort of like aggressively hopeful is what I always thought about it as. I always thought of it as like a solo John Lennon sort of like, because he's like, you know, peace and love and everything, but John Lennon also has this like very like sort of angry side, or like a fierce side to it.
Yeah.
And
angry sounds right to me. Like there's that part of him too.
And
he channels that into something, you know,
so I think
pretty
it's
substantial though.
It's like forcibly like trying to get someone to see the light and help themselves, you know.
Yeah. So in a loving way, kind of shaking them and getting them to
Sure.
listen to you, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just say, hey, you know, there's opportunity that your life is going to be good, or it could be better than it is.
Anytime feeling low, watching the river overflow. Love yourself for somebody's sake. That somebody's in need. That somebody just like me. I can't stand to see you in that shade. Off with my preaching now, just look on with my hand on my heart, even though it's gone. And my fingers crossed, hoping you'll come back again. Hey! There's a city made of gold. I'm hoping one day we can go. You never know, it is not too late. I'll quit my preaching now, just look on with my hand on my heart, even though it's gone. And my fingers crossed, hoping you come back again. Oh, one more time. I'll quit my preaching now and just look on with my hand on my heart, even though it's gone. And my fingers crossed, hoping you'll come back again. With my fingers crossed, hoping you'll come back again. Oh, hey.
This was another one you did the video. Is this one where you had some? It looked like you had people dancing to it. You had
Yeah.
couples dancing. Yeah.
Yeah, we got those are folks that are friends now that we met playing shows, and they come out to shows a lot, and so we asked them to come out. And
Oh, awesome! So they're not random people. You just you got somebody, and they agreed to appear in the video with you.
Yeah.
Yep. And that is in Martindale. And Martindale is a little tiny town east of San Marcos by 20 minutes that certainly not a lot of people know about, but it's really cool. And
Now we know about it.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to talk about Martindale. It's like where we did the video is a schoolhouse that was a school until like 1930, and then they just abandoned it because Martindale didn't have enough kids, and San Marcos like became the school district.
Oh,
And so it's
okay.
in the gym of an old school that now has no roof. It's just open air. It's really cool.
Wow.
Really
I like
nice.
stories. I like little stories like that. You know, the history of what
I
something
think
used
they're
to be
gonna
and what
get
it
their
is
like
today.
historic marker, but there was something about he was telling me the historical markers in Texas. There's a shortage of those, or like there's a delay on whoever carves those out of iron. So they're waiting on getting that, which I thought was funny. There's like one family who makes all the historical markers, and they're in like a fight. So no markers
No markers.
for another year, which is a big deal because they're like trying to get their mark.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that kind of stuff. Dees, thanks. I appreciate that kind of.
Oh yeah.
When I was talking about reading the little bios on each one of you kind of like that kind of subject matter, right? You like historical things and symbols and
Yeah,
all that type of
if
thing.
there's something written down, I will read it. Everywhere I go. Doesn't matter what it is, I'm reading.
When
David seems to agree with that statement by
Yeah.
the way you laughed at it. So
when we go on the road and we'll go through all these little bitty towns, it's really fun to go on Wikipedia and look at the notable people, like what notable people live there,
right.
and just go down a spider web of Wikipedia stuff.
I enjoy that. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and you take Wikipedia with a grain of salt because it's everything is 100% accurate on Wikipedia, I think.
That's actually us just going around making notable people from small, tiny.
I love the notable people section in that because you find out that I had no idea that, in Martindale that, so-and-so was there,
Right.
they'll find the one person that you might recognize and there they are,
Always like a minor league baseball player.
Yeah. Somebody, it's an athlete or some gymnast or, or some historical figure that you don't even remember,
There's a town called Post, Texas, south of Lubbock, and we were looking at that one time, and somebody was in like the late 1800s was trying to do like control the weather, like weather control stuff.
Oh, really?
And they put dynamite into weather balloons and tried to like blow up clouds to see if they could like make it rain on the crops and stuff.
Yeah.
Which had to have been wild in the late 1800s.
That's back when you could get away with that stuff. I think nowadays they won't let you try those experiments, but that used to be pretty common, even in this last century. Like in the 40s and the 50s, they used to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Now get rain out of you.
now you need a permit to explode dynamite in the sky.
Yeah, before you can even get the permit, you're waiting almost a year for the permit, and they forget it. By that time, I'm not interested anymore in blowing up the clouds and finding
That was a good one.
Find the local reservation. Maybe they can do a rain dance or something like that. Oops, I can't say that stuff either. So sorry. Anyway, good music. You see yourself going forward with the volume 3 real soon. once this is out of the way, now you got this under your belt. You're gonna release it. You're gonna have a party and hopefully you get some good mileage out of it. But then there's got to be more in you. I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a handful of tunes that are already slated for volume 3, and we've actually had some people reach out. A guy that wrote some music for Jay Perez and Jimmy Gonzalez. His name is Mike Mendoza. He wrote us a cumbia in Spanish, and so we're looking to work that up. And we wrote a song with a band called Flatland Cavalry. Wrote us a song that's a little polka, and so if that keeps going, I won't have to write anything for volume 3.
It's all.
Let other people do it.
You'll have extra left over probably.
Yeah.
It's cool because people hear us and see the band. They're like, oh, you know what? It would be cool if they did that. Or like Flatland Cavalry plays all over everywhere, and loves all kinds of music. And they're like, hey, it'd be cool if y'all did this. And we're like, okay, if it's cool, it's cool. We'll at least cut it.
Why did you call it David Beck's Tejano Weekend? What's the genesis of that name? Something just came to you one day?
It came there was never like a different option, sort of like the volume thing. But do you know about the John Lennon Lost Weekend? Have you heard
I
of that?
heard of that. Yeah.
So it's when he went to LA. Like he was supposed to go for like a weekend or whatever, and then he was
Sure.
there hanging out with Harry Nilsson for like 3 years or something.
Uh-huh.
It always stuck with me. Like it was like something that maybe you didn't necessarily think was going to stick around, and then all of a sudden you're there for, you know, it's a bigger part of your life than you imagined.
Yeah. So
And,
this inspired you to now you have a new identity, so to speak. With
yeah,
this.
well, and it's a bit unexpected, but it's stuck around, and anything that sticks around, I think it sticks around for a reason.
That's great. When something like that, just keep going with it until it isn't joyful anymore. But I think this is. I think you're on the right track. If
Thank you.
And the audience is friends. I don't know how you refer to them, fans, friends, audience, whatever, but they're along with you for the ride, and they're a big part of this whole experience too.
They definitely are. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what we've seen it impact people. We've seen it bring different cultures together in one big room, which is a win, I think. To just have people that wouldn't be going to the same concerts going to the same concert.
How was 2020 for you guys? Did it slow down a little for you when a lot of places shut their doors and wouldn't let you play over there?
We played a few outdoor gigs, and we finished the record, and just the standard stuff.
That would seem to be a good time for people to finish their records. I'm getting a lot of that.
Yeah.
That's a good time. But then once it's finished, you want to get out there and share it with people. So in a live setting.
Right.
Yeah. And that's where all five of you guys pretty much in agreement that that's the best way to share your music. I mean, yeah, definitely sell the record and get everybody to listen to it, but getting out there and playing it live, that's where it's at, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's when seeing that your songs that everybody's been working on have a real impact on people and make them happy or make them feel a certain way. I mean, that's the payoff.
It's a good feeling, huh? When everybody's you can ever look over and see them smiling and jumping and having a great time with it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
that's the whole deal.
Glad to hear that. What was the kind of touring schedule you had before March of 2020? Beforehand, were you going a lot of? Was it a pretty heavy schedule?
Yeah, every weekend, pretty much.
So it was a little bit of shock when it comes to a halt like that, but you had something. You sort of have not a plan B, but you knew, hey, we'll just put that aside for now. We'll work on the album, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, I've been playing shows almost every weekend since I was 18. Both of us have. So it's like for there to be a break and everybody's on a break, and it's not like you just quit and everybody else kept on. Was a pretty remarkable thing, positively, I think. And all of a sudden now we're right back in the swarm of it.
Yeah.
But it was actually a really nice.
If I remember what DEES was, if I remember what DEES was saying, so 2012 is about the time this all 2011, 2012 that's about when you started all this together. And then were you playing stuff as kids? How far back does that go? Were you little kids playing instruments before, each one of you?
I started playing like at 13.
That's good.
And then was in high school band, but had like a rock band. So by the end of high school, I dropped out of high school band because we were like trying to play in the bars and stuff. Instead of like going to football games, I had to say like we're playing at this random place in Dallas, and I can't play a football game.
Playing in the bars at what, 15, right? Or
16, 17, yeah.
Something like that. Can you beat that, Dave? Were you playing younger than that, or
12?
12? That's not too bad. I mean, I get so many people that say, "Oh, I was taught. My dad saw me playing on the piano at 2-3 years old," and that kind of thing. So
I mean, yeah, we were all like messing around on stuff. Both of our parents were musicians.
Oh, really?
So, you're banging around on a piano, but I think I don't know. For me, it was when I joined middle school band is when the light came on of like starting to get real obsessed with learning music.
Both your parents being musicians, did that affect? Were they supportive of this, or did they see, or did they wanted to sit back and wait and see if this became a real thing for you guys?
My mom was a organist and a piano teacher, and she was real supportive in like a militant kind of way, where I would have to practice the piano, and then when she was kind of my teacher, and then I went to this other teacher, and we finally couldn't get along enough to play the piano. I was like, I'm not playing the piano, and she was like, all right, well, you're going to play something else. And then so I chose the drums because my friend Andrew had drums, and because they're loud and obnoxious, and I was 13. And then it was like, okay, well, if you're going to play the drums, then you're going to play the drums. And then so I had to practice the drums too, just as much as she was trying to make me play the piano. But they were super supportive, almost so supportive that I wish they had told me to get a real job.
Well, that's why I was asking, because a lot of times there could be a conflict, or they maybe even if they're supportive, they still want to be protective. They don't want you to go down the
I had to
down
learn
the hole.
later on that I probably needed to know more things in life than just how to play the drums. But forever, that's all I knew how to do.
How'd you first start taking to it when you're talking about Wild or whatever? Did you start out slow, or did you have the will to just bang on them all the time?
No, I had a practice pad, and then I had a snare drum, and then I had a cymbal and a snare drum.
Okay.
And
I knew the time was going to come, by the way, when David would run off, because
I guess he had to go to the bathroom. But yeah, I started out real slow on the drums. It was about a year before I had a full drum set. But I was taking lessons too, and there's a lot of drums you can learn how to do with just a snare drum, or like without even a bass drum.
Cool. Yeah. So you had you exercise control in the first place. You wanted to learn it, and
it's all in the hands. Yeah. And I had some real great teachers. My first drum teacher was this guy named Fred Gleber, and he played drums for Leanne Rimes. And so he was super like, here's the most, not like fundamentals, super fundamental guy. And I went to North Texas for a little bit, and they've got a big jazz kind of school. So all like the really good jazz kids are always in Dallas playing. And so there's a lot of stuff to listen to, and a lot of people playing really good music.
There's a lot of popular drummers out there. Some of them we just lost. There's some guys, Neil Peart. We just lost Charlie Watts. All these guys have different ways of holding their sticks. Do you just do a?
Yeah, there's not one perfect way for sure.
All right. Thank God David came back. I thought I chased him off for good.
Yeah.
I had to pee real bad.
No, I understand.
Drumsticks too long.
I appreciate that. I hope you didn't mind the chit chat. This is how I sort of do the show. A little, try to, because if I think too many questions up, it becomes like, hey, I'm just reading off of, here's question number 3. What do you think of this thing? And I'm just trying to figure out what's, and plus a little bit of a generation. I'm older. You guys are like my children's age, so I almost look from a dad's perspective. So that's why I ask about, how they support you and everything, because not everybody has parents who were even remotely in the biz, or played, so everyone comes at it from a different angle. But did you say, David, that you had parents that both your parents musicians, or one was?
My dad has been a professional bass player and songwriter forever, pretty much. But he's toured around nationally for the last 30 years.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's a great thing to do. Yeah. So he was a working musician, and that's a nice, so he knows that you can make a, kind of a living out of this.
Absolutely. And he knows all the,
Was he a full-time musician? He did this as his, oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was he home all the time, or did he tour often? Where you didn't see him for some period.
He plays with a guy named Robert Earl Keane, He's a Texas songwriter guy. And I remember them, it was probably late 90s, early 2000s. Like they'd be gone for like maybe a month was probably the longest he was ever gone. But you know,
that's not bad, because he'll tell you, hey, I'm going to be gone for this long. You know, I'll be back at this point when the thing's over with. And yeah.
And they toured a lot, but they always, you know, they made sure to not do like hardly ever longer than 2 weeks without coming home. So even though it's frequent, it was, you know, they always made it, you know, a point to be back.
Sounds
even
like
for a couple days, you know.
Sounds like good life for both you two separately. You know, that you were raised on music and you understood how it was played. I mean, the game is played, so to speak, and that you both saw positive things from it through your parents.
Yeah, absolutely. That's huge. You know, it would be kind of fun if your parents like hated it.
Yeah,
because then you have a whole nother like, you know.
I like how you're presenting two different sides of it. You know, because you had a working musician as a dad, and then you were talking about your mom as taught, and those are two. That's a great way. That's a great contrast. You know, both are great contributions.
She played a lot, like churches and weddings and just all sorts of stuff.
So she did that stuff for free, or she get paid for a lot of the organist stuff? And
yeah, she'd get paid for every single bit of it.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if I'd be able to do that stuff for free all the time. You know, anybody could do it for free, right? But it's when you can get somebody to pay you for doing it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She'd play the piano for free in our house all the time. Yeah.
Sounds great. Well, good. Congratulations on this album. So let me repeat. You guys are going to be the next thing you're doing is in Lubbock tomorrow. So
yeah,
get some. I guess this isn't anything new to you, so you know what to do. I was gonna say, I'm just thinking like a dad. Hey, go get some rest. Don't be tired for your gig. But this is a place you played before, so they know you there, and you can just sort of like walk in at the last minute, set up, and do it.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, on paper you could do that.
Yeah, but on the 19th though, that's when the party begins, because you're gonna actually have to learn some of the other songs that you didn't really rehearse.
There's only one. We got to learn. Yeah, there's a song called Laugh and Say Goodbye.
We played it.
We've played it like, no, we haven't.
We've rehearsed it once.
We've never done it.
We've never played it.
I don't know why. It's not different.
And then the 20th, we're playing in San Antonio at the Lonesome Rose, which is like a real cool bar. Our friend Garrett T. Caps owns. And then the 21st, we're playing at Mavericks in Pflugerville for Tejano night.
Cool.
It's a long weekend.
Sunday.
The place in San Marcos, what's that called? Chatham, something like that?
Cheatham
Street Warehouse.
Cheatham Street Warehouse.
Okay. Just in case people want to go there, you know, that's the place to be. You got time still. I just usually see the stuff on Facebook. Hey, we're going to have our party. Come to it, you know. And then,
and you can just go to it.
Yeah.
You sneak in through the back if you want to.
Yeah, come on through the back.
Sneak in by the drums.
It's easy to get in there through the back. No.
Stuff the places like that van that you travel in, you know.
Yeah.
So there's hardly any room. Not, you guys sitting on top of each other as you're driving. Somebody's got to hold the steering wheel. So, on a serious note, I really appreciate that you guys did this, and I like your music, and I wish you all the success. I think that. How do people find out about you? What's the best thing? Sign up on social media. Go to your site. What would you like people to know?
Mostly like the Instagram, or the website's got all the tour dates and everything on it.
What's cool about the Instagram? I can never figure out how to drive that thing. Is it pictures, video? Like
the intimate, juicy details of our lives.
Posing as a band, posing. Eating soup, or I don't know what do they do on Instagram? I forget, because I haven't figured out what it's good for. Even though,
it's all like sort of sexual images and stuff.
That's true too, but
that's what we usually. That's most of our fans are there for that, and some stay for the music as well.
You guys, the hat and nothing else, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, one cowboy hat.
But anyway, so the site is actually. It's all one word. David Beck's Tejano Weekend.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
.com.
And I think all they got to do is put it in a search engine, right? Your name
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's up pretty well. You know, I think all I did was David Beck, and there it was. So
Yeah.
I found it right away. So volume 2, because you all have volume 1, I assume. So got to
Volume
put this in
1
your collection now. And
Volume 1 has some cool songs on it too.
anyway, my best to you. Thanks for coming on, David, DEES Stribling, and David Beck. And the band is called David Beck's Tejano Weekend. And their album release party is in November 19th, I think it is. And it's been a pleasure. Thanks very much again for coming on. I really appreciate this.
Nice to
Dean,
meet you, Dean.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you too. Have a great day and have a great show tomorrow.
Adios.
Adios. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.